Hey everyone, if I'm doing this right, you can see out my rainy windshield the picnic table where I like to sit and read comics on a sunny day. I left the cave that is my workplace and thought it was going to be a sunny day out and discovered it's rainy, so I'm reading comics in my car. Like I did last week, I'm going to do some sort of first reactions right after having read a comic book here in my car now. I just read Saga. I always want to say Saga, but I think it's Saga. Saga, chapter 19. The return after what I think is just about 3 months. Kind of a cool cover, a different design than previous Saga covers. Still don't know why they don't do wraparounds, but that's their style. So I almost showed the splash page, the first page, but that's the gross out page that we don't want to show for people who don't want to be grossed out. I think that may be more graphic than anything else we've seen, except it's giving birth to a roboted head baby with a close-up of the mom's anatomy and blue blood. I thought that was kind of cool. And I like the whole... I've always liked the robot prince and now the robot princess and her newborn baby subplot. So I felt like we got and we got to catch up with Marco and... Yeesh, now I can't remember her name. Alana and their daughter... Can't remember the daughter's name. And the grandmother's still alive. I guess it was the author who got killed. I thought somehow the grandmother got killed. It feels like and so we learned that the mom is now working in some kind of holo projection plays. Not quite TV, but more like plays, I think, because there's an audience there that they can actually see. It doesn't fully track. Anyway, there was cool stuff in here. It felt, because Saga was so tight the first 6 issues and continued to be fairly tight throughout the previous 18 issues, this feels baggier, if that's a proper word for describing a story. It feels like it's more in a drift mode. Which is still interesting, but it's just not... I don't feel the tension or that much interest in what's going on. And maybe because of that, and because it's more domestic, it's about one family's having a baby, one family's raising a toddler, and it's, except for that holo projection theater, all of the things in it are almost identical to what it would be like to do those things right now here on Earth. Yeah, there's an epidural for the mom giving birth. There is, ballet classes and bouncy things for kids, which is kind of cool. I mean, a lot of those, except for the epidural, that bothers me. There should be something different than an epidural for robots in some far future alien world. But it just felt very domestic, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't gripped by it. I didn't love it as much as perhaps I might have. The colors are really fun. I assume that Fiona Staple's still doing her colors. She is mixing it up and doing something different with colors, I think, than she has previously. So it's a good comic book. It's a good episode. I think that I don't know if this is warning us that Saga's going to become a mellower comic book in a sense. I mean, I can go with that. It just takes you by surprise a little bit, and maybe it's just mellower for this one issue. If they are going to go for a mellower thing of a subtler story, I'd love to learn more about Is planet Gardenia they're living on? I mean, they're still living in their rocket ship. Does anyone notice that? Is that unusual? They have a giant walrus as a pet. That's kind of cool. They still have their half-bodied ghost as a nanny. So anyway, and there's conflict in the marriage. The father's the stay-at-home father, and the mother's got a shaky job. Alana's got a shaky job in this theater business, so which is putting a lot of pressure on their marriage, which is very familiar stuff if you have had small kids. I think for most people, having children puts a lot of pressure on their marriage, and a lot of marriages, I think, split up partially due to having children, unfortunately. So anyway, it's an interesting issue. Just mellower. It's a mellower issue. Talk to you guys with my next comic book.